At the start of 2026, the global pop industry finds itself in a familiar moment of reassessment. Analysts, critics, and media outlets examine how music has shifted, sonically, culturally, and structurally, over the past year. One conclusion appears with increasing clarity. The boundary between K-pop and global pop is no longer as defined as it once was. At the center of this shift, one name continues to surface across international conversations: Jungkook. Rather than being framed solely as a K-pop idol or a solo pop star, Jungkook is increasingly described as a figure who helps integrate K-pop into the broader global pop ecosystem. His music circulates freely across regions, his identity resonates beyond language barriers, and his influence is discussed alongside mainstream global artists without qualification. At the beginning of 2026, Jungkook is not merely crossing borders, he is redefining what those borders mean. For years, K-pop was described as an export, a genre traveling outward from South Korea into the world. Its success was measured by chart entries, tour attendance, and viral moments. By 2026, that narrative has changed. K-pop is no longer simply reaching global pop audiences, it is increasingly embedded within them. Artists are no longer viewed as representatives of a genre, but as contributors to a shared pop culture. Jungkook's career reflects this transition clearly. His music is not marketed as K-pop for global audiences, it is consumed as global pop, full stop. This distinction is subtle but transformative. One of the strongest reasons Jungkook is cited as an integrative figure lies in his sound. His solo releases emphasize melodic clarity, emotional accessibility, and production styles familiar to global pop listeners. At the same time, his vocal tone and performance sensibility retain the precision and discipline often associated with K-pop training. This combination allows his music to move fluidly across markets without requiring adaptation. Listeners do not feel they are trying something foreign. They feel they are engaging with pop music that speaks naturally to them. This fluidity is central to integration. Language has often been cited as a barrier in global music consumption. Jungkook's work challenges that assumption. While English language tracks expanded his reach, analysts emphasize that emotional delivery, not language alone, plays a critical role in his global appeal. His vocal performances prioritize feeling, nuance, and connection. As a result, audiences engage with his music intuitively. This emotional universality is one of the reasons Jungkook's work fits seamlessly into global pop playlists alongside Western artists, rather than being categorized separately. Media language matters. At the start of 2026, international articles discussing Jungkook increasingly avoid genre qualifiers. Headlines focus on influence, reach, and longevity rather than origin. This shift in framing reflects broader acceptance. Jungkook is no longer introduced as a K-pop star making waves globally. He is described as an artist shaping global pop trends. That reframing signals integration, not assimilation, but inclusion. Expansion suggests movement outward. Integration suggests coexistence. Jungkook's position at the start of 2026 represents the latter. His success does not replace existing global pop structures, it enriches them. His presence broadens the definition of what global pop can look and sound like. This matters not only for Jungkook, but for the future of K-pop itself. Integration allows sustainability. At the start of 2026, Jungkook's digital footprint remains one of the strongest indicators of his integrative role in global pop. Despite limited direct activity, his presence across streaming platforms, social media discussions, and global playlists continues to demonstrate organic reach. Jungkook's songs appear not only in K-pop-focused spaces, but also in mainstream pop playlists curated for international audiences. This placement matters. It signals that Jungkook's music is consumed contextually alongside global pop releases, rather than being isolated within genre-specific categories. Analysts often cite this cross-platform circulation as a sign of true integration, rather than segmented popularity. Fan culture plays a critical role in Jungkook's global positioning. By 2026, ARMY communities have evolved into highly organized, multilingual, and cross-cultural networks. Support for Jungkook is no longer framed solely as fandom loyalty, but as cultural participation. Fans actively engage with music discussions, streaming trends, and global media narratives, ensuring Jungkook's work remains visible in diverse markets. This transnational fan activity reinforces integration by maintaining continuous dialogue between cultures rather than creating isolated fan ecosystems. Beyond music, Jungkook's visual identity contributes significantly to his influence. Performance analysts note that his stage language, movement, expression, and physical storytelling transcends cultural specificity. His performances rely on emotional clarity rather than symbolic exclusivity, making them accessible to global audiences. This universality allows Jungkook's performances to resonate regardless of regional context, further integrating K-pop aesthetics into global performance standards. Music industry analysts increasingly frame Jungkook as a reference point for integrated pop. Rather than asking whether K-pop can compete globally, discussions now focus on how artists like Jungkook help redefine the mainstream itself. His career trajectory suggests that global pop no longer has a singular cultural center. This decentralization reflects a more inclusive industry model, one in which Jungkook's success becomes a blueprint rather than an exception. Historically, mainstream implied alignment with Western pop markets. By 2026, that definition is evolving. Jungkook's presence in global pop discussions challenges outdated notions of mainstream dominance. His success suggests that mainstream status now derives from audience engagement rather than geographic origin. As a result, Jungkook occupies a space where K-pop identity and global pop relevance coexist naturally. Jungkook's solo career cannot be separated from BTS's collective legacy. Media analysis often highlights how his solo achievements amplify BTS's global influence, while BTS's history adds depth and context to his individual artistry. This reciprocal relationship strengthens integration by presenting Jungkook as both an individual artist and part of a globally influential collective. One of the most striking aspects of Jungkook's influence is its durability. Unlike trend-driven visibility reliant on frequent releases, Jungkook's relevance persists through sustained listener engagement. His work continues to circulate organically, suggesting a deep-rooted connection rather than surface-level hype. This longevity reinforces his status as a trend-shaping figure rather than a momentary success. January 2026 marks a moment of reflection within the industry. Jungkook's recognition as an integrative figure coincides with broader shifts toward inclusivity and cross-cultural collaboration in pop music. Rather than standing apart from these changes, Jungkook embodies them, serving as evidence that global pop is evolving toward a more interconnected future. For emerging artists, Jungkook represents possibility. He demonstrates that artists can retain cultural identity while achieving global resonance. His career suggests that authenticity and accessibility are not opposing forces, but complementary ones. This message resonates strongly with younger artists navigating an increasingly globalized industry. A key distinction emphasized by analysts is integration versus imitation. Jungkook's influence does not stem from mimicking global pop trends. Instead, he contributes to them through originality shaped by diverse influences. This distinction reinforces his credibility as an integrative figure rather than a derivative one. Cultural boundaries in music have historically been rigid. Jungkook's career illustrates how those boundaries can be redrawn without erasure. His work allows K-pop to exist within global pop frameworks without losing identity. This balance is central to sustainable integration. Language used by media reflects acceptance. By early 2026, Jungkook is frequently discussed without qualifiers related to nationality or genre. This normalization signals a shift in perception, one where global artists are evaluated by impact rather than origin. Listener behavior supports this narrative. Data trends indicate that Jungkook's audience spans multiple regions, with minimal regional segmentation. His listeners engage with his music alongside other global pop acts, reinforcing integration at the consumption level. Jungkook's influence affects structures rather than moments. He shapes expectations around artist development, global reach, and cross-cultural collaboration. These structural shifts suggest lasting impact rather than transient popularity. At the start of 2026, Jungkook stands not at the edge of global pop, but within it. His influence does not announce itself loudly. It integrates quietly through sound, presence, and sustained connection. Rather than redefining global pop by force, Jungkook reshapes it through consistency, authenticity, and reach. And in doing so, he becomes not just a participant in global pop culture, but one of its quiet architects.